PC. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. This is really a great time of the week for you if you are a computer user, and you know what? A lot of people are. And also, one of the things that we do is we train people on how to avoid scams. These are really big. We'll go over the biggest and most critical cybersecurity threats that are out there as well. So you want to stay tuned to this. And of course, number one is your questions. If you want to have your questions answered, give us a call, 772-340-5090, 772-340-5090. We are also streaming this show live to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. You can get the links to both of those by going to our website at fasterpc.com. We have a red button at the top of the page and right in the middle that says Live Technical Support. If you click on that, on the left-hand side, it tells you how you can get live technical support from a Faster PC technician. But on the right side, it shows you the various ways you can listen to or watch a Faster PC live technical support, including listening on the radio, 1590 AM, listening on the TuneIn app, where you just search for WPSL, listening on your Google or Amazon or Alexa speaker, where you just say, "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Google, play WPSL," and you know what? It starts playing, and if you're doing that during this show, you will hear this show. One of the things also, we also have this show is available on a podcast, so you can listen to it that way as well. In addition, we have links to that on our page again. We also have links again to the Facebook page and the YouTube channel, so you can get over there, you can watch that, you can see it, you can hear it. In addition, we have links to where you can actually view various videos and shorts. So videos are some of the segments of a Faster PC live technical support. We actually roll out into individual videos. So if you're not interested in watching or listening to the entire show, you can get just a segment of it. Also, in the last few weeks, we have time-stamped all of the shows. So even if you're watching the entire show and you're only interested in a certain topic, you can actually go to that specific topic. We have video chapters built into it, at least if you're watching on YouTube. The shorts, those are just little snippets of the show, so you'll be able to get over there, you'll be able to watch that, and you'll be able to just really increase your knowledge. So we will be going over the Microsoft patch and and Adobe Patch Tuesday threats today as well. And also, I mentioned you can call the show with your questions, 772-340-5090. In addition to that, you also can head over and in addition to calling 772-340-5090, you can type your questions into the comment sections of the live videos. If you happen to have a question throughout the week, well, hey, type that question into the live comment section there as well, and we will actually cover that while you're going to be typing it in, even on an archive video. We'll actually cover that on the next edition of a Faster PC live technical support. One of the things we're going to be doing today is actually going over the NFL schedule, how to watch NFL football without cable or with cable. We'll be talking about the various ways you can watch some of the games. Some of the games you'll actually need to watch exclusively, not on cable, but you'll watch exclusively on streaming. So this is, in fact, one of those is completely free, so you'll be able to watch that. You'll be able to learn all about that here on this show. We'll jump into that right now. So the NFL schedule has been released, and here's what's going on with that NFL schedule. So some of the games are available on with an over-the-air digital antenna. So if you have a digital antenna, you'll be able to get some of the games. Now, if you don't have a digital antenna, or maybe you have just an indoor digital antenna, getting an outdoor digital antenna gives you better reception, And if you're able, if you live in an area where you can stick it on a pole and you're able to do that, stick it on a pole about 20 foot, get it above the rooftops, above many of the trees, or at least limit the tree interference. And these antennas can actually rotate, so you don't have to actually go up onto the top of the antenna and turn it or turn the pole. They actually have a rotor on the top, and there's a button on the inside where you can push it, and it actually turns, and it'll spin in various directions. We've had customers that pick up stations from as far away as 100 miles. Some of the games are on NBC, CBS, Fox, and ABC. All of these can be picked up with a digital antenna. Many of the people in our radio listening area will be able to pick up all of these stations if you have an outdoor antenna with a 20-foot pole. Now, some of the games are exclusively available on either cable or streaming, so you actually have to have a subscription to watch some of the games, because some of the games are on ESPN, which is available not only through the regular cable, but there are also cable TV substitute packages. We'll talk about those, and that has ESPN. But there's also the ESPN Plus subscription, where you can subscribe to watch ESPN, and they have various subscriptions. Some include just ESPN Plus, some include ESPN Plus and Disney Plus, and then they also have ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, plus Hulu, Archive TV, and then they have Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu with live TV. So you'll be able to actually, a lot of ways that you can actually watch the games that are on ESPN. Some of the games also will be on the NFL Network. Now the NFL Network is available on cable, but it's also available on the cable substitute packages. And if you subscribe to NFL Plus, you will get the NFL Network as well. Now, there are some games that are exclusively streamed. And in fact, if you want to watch all of the games and you want to watch them all live, you will need to actually have a Amazon Prime subscription, and you will also need to have a Netflix subscription. And some of the games will also be on Peacock, Paramount Plus, ESPN Plus. We talked about that already. NFL Plus. So you'll be able to actually watch these games in these ways. So the games that will be exclusively streamed. Thursday night football actually will be on exclusively on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, and typically I think the first game of the year is actually on NBC, and that's on Thursday, but most of the Thursday night games will be exclusively on Amazon Prime. Now, some people already have an Amazon Prime subscription. If you're out there, you have an Amazon Prime subscription already, you'll be able to watch those games. You won't have to have an extra subscription. If you're a fan of a certain team and you only care about watching your team, well, chances are your team will only play on Thursday night one time. My team last year, I think, played 2 Thursday night games, but most teams only play 1 Thursday night game. And if that's the case with you, you could actually get a trial of Amazon Prime and watch that game. If you decide you like it, you could continue that. If you don't like it, well, you can just go ahead and get rid of it afterward. Or maybe you like it, but you don't want to pay the money, so you just cancel the trial at the end of it. Now, the Friday, September 5th game, which is actually the second game of the year, is going to be aired exclusively on YouTube. Now, this is available for free. So you can actually, anyone that wants to watch this will be able to watch this game. This is the Chargers versus the Chiefs. And this will be available on YouTube. And again, it'll be completely free. You can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your on your TV if you have a smart TV, or if you don't, get a Roku and you'll be able to watch it there. You also will be able to watch it on a tablet or a phone with the YouTube app as well. Again, we talked about some of the ESPN Plus games. There's one game that actually, it's a Monday night game, October the 20th, between Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. It will not be aired on cable TV. It will only be aired on ESPN Plus. There's also NFL has Black Friday game on Amazon Prime. That's between the Eagles and the Bears. And then there's games on Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, you have on Netflix, you have the Commanders versus the Cowboys, and also the Vikings versus the Lions. And then also on Christmas Day, you have a Prime Video game between the Chiefs and the Broncos. And then also on the 27th of December, you'll have a game exclusively on Peacock. Now, there are also some playoff games that are exclusively streaming. There will be one that's exclusively on Amazon Prime. I'm going to switch over real quick. We're running out of time, but I'm going to switch over real quick to a Roku device and just show you there are other ways that you can watch the NFL, and you can do that on NFL Plus Premium. With NFL Plus Premium, the subscriptions, well, they have NFL Plus and NFL Plus Premium. On all of these, while NFL Plus Premium, you can actually watch the games after the fact, and it's an archived game. You can't watch it live, so you have to kind of stay away from it, in order for it to be as cool for you. There's also the NFL Sunday Ticket. That's expensive, but it is another way to watch. You can watch every single game live with the NFL Sunday Ticket. So, hey, watch it. You're listening to a Faster PC Radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour right here on this station and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090. 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. Or just go to our website, fasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups to QuickBooks, Manysoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio, this is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC Radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page. Or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we're back ready to answer your computer questions, 772-340-1590. Listen, we do have a full show lined up, even if you don't call with a question. But if you do call with a question, you know what? We'll just extend part of it out, and we'll keep the show going on the live stream after the show is over on the radio. That's what we do. That's the way we handle that. So don't feel bad if your question even takes us in a different direction. But what we're going to do now, short of questions, is we're going to actually dive in to the Microsoft and Adobe Patch Tuesday patches. Microsoft just released this past Tuesday released their patches for Windows and various other programs that are available, and these include 75 new CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exploits, and there's, with third-party applications, the number goes to 82. 5 of these are under active attack, which means they're zero-day threats. That means that you actually need to, if you haven't installed the updates yet, your computer is potentially a sitting duck for infection. So you want to get out and install the updates. We'll actually show you how to install the updates as well during this segment as well. One of the things also, Adobe has their patch. They release their patches on the same day. They have 13 security bulletins addressing 40 CVEs and various programs. We'll go over those as well. But really, everyone uses Microsoft. Not everyone. I mean, there are people that use Linux. And by the way, if you're using Linux, you need to be installing the security updates there. If you're using Apple, you need to install the security updates there. We have, in the last month or two, we've actually gone over at least 2 zero-day threats that affect Apple devices, and in the last few months we've gone over some that affect Linux devices as well. So, whatever operating system you're running on your computer, make sure that you're updating it on a regular basis. Well, Microsoft did release 75 new, they released updates that address 75 new CVEs, and Windows Components, Office and Office Components.net, and Visual Studio. Also Azure, which is their cloud's products or their cloud hosting. Nuance, Power Scribe, Remote Desktop Gateway Service, and Microsoft Defender. 3 of these bugs were reported through the Zero-Day Initiative program. There's counting in the third-party CVEs, there's actually a total of 82 CVEs that are addressed. 12 are rated as critical, and the rest are rated as important in severity. And so one of the things, they are actually a little bit ahead of their normal pace, or at least if they continue the same pace, they'll have more security alerts or CVEs addressed this year than they had last year. One of the things that is a little bit unusual is that many of the security bugs, the CVEs, address Microsoft Office, which could mean that later in the year, people that didn't update, people that maybe even are running a version of Office that's no longer supported, might be falling prey to these attacks. Now again, 5 of these threats are under active attack, which means hackers are currently using this. So if you haven't installed the updates, again, we'll show you how to do that, but you'll want to do that today if you haven't done it yet. So there's actually the scripting engine memory corruption vulnerability. This bug allows a remote attacker to execute their code on an affected system if they can convince a user to click a specially crafted link. Since this is in the wild, clearly some clicked that link. This bug is interesting in that it forces Edge into Internet Explorer mode, so the ghost of IE continues to haunt us all. Microsoft provides no information on how widespread these attacks are, but one of the things you need to know is that you need to get out and install the updates quickly. So there's a Windows common log file, system driver, elevation of privileges vulnerability. This Windows component has been through the ringer, as it was also exploited in the previous month by other groups. These bugs allow privilege escalation. That's where your username doesn't have admin rights, but there's an escalation that escalates that user to where certain things can be run with admin rights and or as the system, and are usually paired with a code execution bug to take over a system. In the past, these types of bugs were used by ransomware gangs, so it's likely that these are as well. You want to install the updates as quickly as possible to close this threat. There's a Windows ancillary function driver for WinSock elevation of privilege vulnerability, and so this is also a rerun that we saw this component also in the February updates this year, or a similar threat at least. When we see the same component exploited again and again, one of the things we have to ask is whether there's a quality in the patch and whether they're able to just bypass the threat or bypass the patch that was done. So again, this privilege escalation bug that loads with system privileges, you want to actually get out and install the patches, install the updates to make sure that you're protecting yourself from this. So there's a Microsoft DWM core library elevation of privilege vulnerability. This is the final in the wild bug getting patched this month, and although we saw it patched back in January, this is the first exploit we've seen in this component in some time. This is another privilege escalation bug that leads to execution code as system privileges. So one of the things you need to do, again, install the updates. In addition to installing the updates, your computer really needs, you see many of these are elevation or privilege bug. Well, why is that? Well, because some computers, the the companies or maybe the IT providers have actually done their due diligence and have configured the username so that the user profile so that the users don't have admin rights. Whether you're a business or a medical office, dental office, your users should be configured. Even if you're a personal computer user, or you have a home office or something like that, your users should not have admin rights. When we log into our computers, our users don't have admin rights either. We have an admin account that we use only when needed, and we even have software that can allow a non-admin user to elevate to an admin status for a specific purpose to address a certain threat. Now, I'm going to actually switch over to a full screen and actually show you how you can actually go about installing. In fact, let me get the full screen up here. We're going to show you how you can install these Windows updates. So we're going to click on the Start menu, and that's the 4-pane window in the lower left-hand corner of Windows 10, or it's closer to the middle by default in Windows 11. Look for the gear or the cog. I've moved mine into a Utilities folder. That's Settings. So we're going to load Settings. And from Settings, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Windows Updates. Now, mine probably won't find anything. If yours has already installed the updates, you'll probably see it like mine. If not, what you'll do is you'll actually look through the list here, and you'll see the updates, and you'll have an option, you'll have a button where you can install those updates or download and install those updates. I'm going to click Check for Updates. This will actually search for updates. It may find an update to Windows Security because Microsoft does release those on a regular basis. But if I had updates installed or ready to install, what I would see is I would see those updates ready to install, and again, I would be able to click to install them. This symbol here, these two arrows that are pointing kind of toward each other in a circular motion there, or at least it indicates circular motion. If your computer has installed the updates, but you have not restarted your computer, down in the lower right near the clock, you'll actually see that symbol, and it'll actually tell you that you need to actually restart your computer, and you'll be able to actually get there. You'll be able to restart the computer, because the updates, just installing the updates here, doesn't fully resolve the issue. You need to actually restart the computer, because part of the update is installed while the computer's in the operating system, and then additional parts of the update are installed as the computer is shutting down, and then yet additional parts of the updates are installed as the computer is coming back up into Windows. So until you actually restart the computer, you will not get the updates installed. Now, one of the things also that I did want to mention is that a faster PC does provide managed services, and for our managed clients, we actually automate the updates and the patches. And twice a day, we're looking for updates to Windows Security. On average, every 4 hours, we're looking to updates to programs such as Firefox and Chrome and Zoom. And some other Adobe Reader, some other programs in there. If you're actually a managed client of a faster PC, we actually are automating this, so you don't even have to worry about this. This just happens. You don't even have to be paying attention to when the updates come out. It'll actually install. We have software that's scripting that and looking for the updates on a regular basis. So what you want to do, if you're not a managed client, you want to be a managed client, give us a call, 772-878-5978, or head over to our website, fasterpc.com. We have links where you can actually request a consultation or a meeting with us. We even have over there, we have a cybersecurity report that you can download as well to learn about that. Now we're going to switch over and actually go over the Adobe patches. So some of you guys are out there are using Adobe, and if you are using Adobe, Adobe has released 13 security bulletins with addressing 40 CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exploits. And Adobe Cold Fusion, Lightroom, Dreamweaver, Connect, InDesign, Substance 3D Painter, Photoshop, Animate, Illustrator, Bridge, Dimension, Substance 3D Stager, and Substance 3D Modeler. One of these CVEs was submitted through the Zero Trust Initiative program. If you need to prioritize, Cold Fusion is the greatest place to start. Not only does it address 7 critical and 1 important bug, but Adobe listed it as priority 1, even though there are no active attacks listed, I'll say, as of yet, because that will happen. So Cold Fusion also received patches last month, so these CVEs could be a bypass of that patch. So the remaining updates are listed as priority 3. There are 3 critical rated bugs in Photoshop that could be triggered by opening a specifically crafted file. The fix for Animate corrects 5 bugs, including some that result in code execution. There are 6 CVEs in the fix for Substance 3D Stager. However, there are only 2 CVEs in the patch for Substance 3D Modeler and 1 in Substance 3D Painter. Now I'm going to switch over and actually show you how you can actually, if you have Adobe software, and this is the newer software. If you have the older software, well, you're not getting these updates and you're vulnerable. So you need to really get the newer software, which is subscription based. And what you can do, you want to open this up and you have an updates tab. And on the updates tab, you can actually click check for updates. Once you check for updates, and you can also turn on manage. You see manage auto updates was selected there. And if you click on manage auto updates, what you'll see is that you'll be able to manage the updates, and that will happen automatically. So you'll be able to get those installed. Mine installed automatically because I had the updates and I have those all toggled on to update automatically.
You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now is your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up. 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now, or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. From the founding of our company, a faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a faster PC saves customers money?
A faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC, or A Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to A Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website at fasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to A Faster PC Radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for A Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. Yes, you do, and we're back with the final segment of today's show. If you do have a question, we can send the show out, because we are going to be going over today. We're going to be going over the actual biggest threats that are out there. So we do this every week. Hackers are constantly looking for new ways to break into your computer, to your computer network, to hold your data hostage. How do you protect yourself? Well, one of the ways to protect yourself is to know what's going on. The second is you want to know what to do about what's going on and what steps to take to protect yourself. And so we're going to fill you in on what is going on. We're also going to show you steps you can take to actually address that and to resolve those issues. So up on today's list is that Windows 10 end of support is coming up. It's right around the corner, a few months away. We'll go over that. Also, Microsoft Cloud security vulnerability has been confirmed. There are Fortinet and Ivanti vulnerabilities that are being exploited in the wild. There's a click fix is now targeting Linux systems. Microsoft Office apps are now getting support until 2028, certain Office apps on Windows 10. We'll go over that. There's a Sept vulnerabilities being exploited in attacks, and OneDrive update bypass security protocols, and there's a new European vulnerability database that was just launched. So here's the cybersecurity rundown. Again, this is the biggest threats that we have seen in the last week, and also, really preparing you for the future. And that's what we're talking about when we're looking at Windows 10 end of support coming up. So Microsoft has announced they've been going over this and letting people know for quite some time. We've been letting you know also that the end of support for Microsoft Windows 10 will officially end October 14th, 2025. After this date, the operating system will no longer receive security updates, software patches, or technical assistance. While Windows 10 will continue to function, devices running it will become increasingly vulnerable to security risks and may experience compatibility issues with newer applications or hardware. One of the things that will happen, we see this happen quite often, is that as Microsoft ends the support, well, the browsers, the companies and organizations that produce browsers like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and also Firefox, in fact, Edge will not support Windows 10 after October 14th. But Google Chrome and Firefox will probably still support it for a little bit, maybe a year or two. After that, they'll stop supporting it. And when they stop supporting it, you stop getting updates. What happens is your computer becomes more vulnerable on the web, and then more and more websites stop working properly. So websites are changed, they're adjusted to the new browsers, and your browser is not new if you're running an outdated operating system that is no longer supported by the browser. So then you get to where you can't go to as many sites. More and more sites don't work, and or fewer and fewer sites do work, and your computer eventually becomes kind of unusable. But the good news is we can actually update most of the computers that are out there running Windows 10. We can actually update them to Windows 11. And so, if you need help with that, you want to get your computer updated without replacing it, even if Microsoft has told you that it doesn't support Windows 11, in most cases, we can still update it to Windows 11 so that you can continue to receive the updates and you can continue to use the same computer. Of course, if you want to replace your computer, we can help you with that as well. But if you want to just go to Windows 10 on the same computer, you can save yourself some money and do that. There's a Microsoft Cloud Security vulnerability that has been confirmed. Microsoft has confirmed critical cloud security vulnerability that's rated 10 out of 10 in severity. This affects Azure services. This flaw allows attackers to gain unauthorized access to cloud resources, posing significant risk to organizations relying on Microsoft's cloud infrastructure. The company has released patches to address the issue and urges all users to apply the patches promptly to secure their systems. Security experts emphasize the importance of regular updates and monitoring to protect against such high severity vulnerabilities. There's a Fortinet and Evante vulnerability that is being exploited in the wild. Fortinet and Evante have disclosed that attacks are actively exploiting a new zero-day vulnerability in their products. These flaws are being used by threat actors to gain unauthorized access to systems, potentially compromising sensitive data. Organizations using Fortinet vulnerability tracked as CVE 2025-32756 and Evante Solutions vulnerability tracked as CVE 2025-4427 and CVE 2025-04428 are strongly advised to apply available patches immediately and monitor their network for signs of intrusion. These are used for firewalls, and it's important that when the updates are available, that you know about it. Again, these threats are actively being exploited. If you don't install the updates, you're a sitting duck, and you use these products, you're a sitting duck for infections and for attack. There's a quick fix ClickFix is now targeting Linux systems. A new cyber attack campaign is targeting Linux users with a technique called ClickFix, previously used mainly against Windows systems. In this attack, users are tricked into executing malicious commands by interacting with fake verification prompts on deceptive websites. Specifically, a site impersonating India's Ministry of Defense profiles visitors, and if they are using Linux, presents a fake CAPTCHA that, when clicked, copies a harmful shell command to the user's clipboard and instructs them to run it. This method marks a significant expansion of ClickFix tactics to Linux platforms. We warned you about this with Windows platforms. This threat actually affected many people that were visiting and many auto dealerships that were actually visiting websites, visiting auto dealers' websites to view videos, and they were getting these fake CAPTCHA, and many people were infected because of that. Now it's jumping over to Linux. Office applications are now getting support until 2028. Microsoft has announced that it will continue to provide security updates for Microsoft 365 Office apps on Windows 10 until October 10, 2028, extending support by 3 years beyond the operating system's end of support date of October 14, 2025. This decision aims to assist users and organizations in maintaining security during their transition to Windows 11, while the Office apps will remain functional on Windows 10. Microsoft advises upgrading to Windows 11, and again, we can help you do that, even on many computers that Microsoft has said, hey, it's not going to support Windows 11. We can help you update on many of those. There's also a SAP or SAP vulnerability that's being exploited in attacks. So SAP has released a patch for a second zero-day vulnerability in its NetWeaver platform, discovered during investigations into earlier attacks exploited under this. So earlier attacks that were exploited. This new flaw involves insecure deserialization, allowing attackers with Visual Composer user privileges to execute arbitrary commands remotely. Threat actors have been chaining both vulnerabilities since January to gain unauthorized access to systems. Organizations using SAP NetWeaver are strongly advised to apply the latest security updates and consider disabling the Visual Composer service to mitigate these risks. OneDrive update bypasses security protocols. Microsoft's upcoming June 2025 OneDrive update introduces a feature called Prompt to Add Personal Account to OneDrive Sync, which encourages users of business devices to sync personal files with their work accounts. This change could allow personal and business data to intermingle, potentially bypassing existing security protocols and exposing sensitive information unless IT departments proactively implement safeguards such as disabling new account detection or personal sync features. Organizations may face increased data security risks. There's a new European vulnerability database that's been launched. Most of the vulnerabilities that we talk about with the CVE numbers, those are a US-based organization, but there's the European Union Agency for Cybersecurity, ENISA, has launched the European Vulnerability Database, or EUVD, a centralized platform designed to enhance cybersecurity across the EU. This database aggregates information on cybersecurity vulnerabilities from various sources, including Computer Security Incident Response Teams, or CSIRTs, vendors, and existing databases like MITRE's CVE program. By establishing its own database, the EU aims to reduce reliance on external systems and ensure a more resilient cybersecurity infrastructure. So these are the threats that are out there. And I know this is a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of technical stuff. And you may be saying, well, I don't even know if this is applicable to me. I don't know what do I need to do? Where would I even start on this? Well, if you're in that boat, you have good news. I have good news for you, because a faster PC can help you when you have cybersecurity problems. Maybe you don't even know that you're vulnerable. We actually can come in. We can run a vulnerability assessment on your systems to determine whether your systems are safe or whether they're vulnerable. On our website, we actually have where you a link where you can request such a vulnerability assessment. We also have, and we'll include that link in the description of this video as well. In addition to that, we can help you if you hire a faster PC to provide cybersecurity services for you. We can actually help you. And we do this, by the way, for businesses. We do it for ministries. We do it for dental offices. We do it for medical offices. We do it for accounting offices and attorneys' offices, any professional office, nonprofits. We do this also for other for home office users and even for personal offices. So if you're out there, you need some help, or you want to help have a faster PC secure your network, you can give us a call, 772-878-5978, 772-878-5978, or visit our website at fasterpc.com and request a discovery call. It's a free discovery call where we can go over our solutions.
To qualify. We're coming to the end of today's show, but if you've missed any part of the show, want to listen to or watch it again, or want to share it with your friends, head over to our website, fasterpc.com, and look at the top of the page. Right in the middle, there's a red button that says Live Technical Support. Click on that button. On the left-hand side, you'll see various ways that you can actually request live technical support from a Faster PC's technicians. On the right-hand side, you'll see how you can listen to and watch a Faster PC live technical support, including on the radio, on the TuneIn app, on your Alexa or Google speakers, and on our podcast, as well as links to both our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, where you'll not only be able to hear the show, but also see the show. We also have links to our YouTube channel's video page where you can watch individual segments, and then also our shorts page where you can watch little snippets of a Faster PC live technical support. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5, and next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning here on WPSL at 10 a.m. You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church YouTube channel, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. If you have any computer questions for next week's show, you can type those into the comment section of our live videos over at YouTube and Facebook. Again, you can get the links to both of those by clicking on the live technical support button at our website, the top middle, and you can request live technical support on that page as well. Computer problems?
Don't you know by now you need a faster PC?
Before God created civil government, He created family. Before He created even the church, God created family. Families play a vital role in training the next generation. Commit today to nurturing and supporting families, especially your own. Families that are committed to God and each other can play a vital role in transforming our churches, cities, states, and nation.
WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Deadly storms.
All right. right. So what we're going to do, we're just going to extend the video just a little bit because we did have a question that came in on YouTube, or actually on Facebook. We had a question that came in. And by the way, anytime you're watching any of our videos, if you have a question, you want to go over that, just type in your question. You can give us a call, certainly 772-340-59. Not anymore because I'm disconnected from the studio, but during the normal show, give us a call, 772-340-1590. Also, you can type your question into the live video and we'll go over those, or even one of the archive videos after the show is over. But Leslie from Facebook says, we subscribe through you when in Florida as well as Jamestown. In our Florida computer automatically, or is our Florida computer automatically updated to Windows 11, and we have been with you for over a year in Florida. Thank you. So Leslie, it's whether your computer automatically updates to Windows 11 really is dependent on hardware. So Microsoft, and it's also dependent a little bit on your user interaction as well. So if your computer has TPM built into the processor, then it will automatically give you the option of updating to Windows 11. And even if you don't click, it might actually update to Windows 11 if you don't say to wait. Now, and periodically when you restart the computer will ask whether you want to update to Windows 11. Now, here's what the TPM is. The TPM is used to encrypt your data with BitLocker. Microsoft wants that to be on the processor, and really it's the safest for it to be on the processor. Here's the reason. If the TPM in the older processors, the TPM chip was off of the processor, so data was actually sent from the processor to the TPM chip and vice versa, unencrypted. So a hacker with the right equipment and physical access to your computer could actually capture the BitLocker key that is used to encrypt data on your drive, and then could decrypt the data on the drive, or get into your drive and access sensitive files, which might include your social security number, it might include date of birth for a business, it could include other sensitive data, and it's important that you actually get out there and that you protect yourself. So with an Intel processor, if you have an Intel i-series processor, it needs to be at least the 8th generation to have the TPM built onto the processor. If you have an AMD Ryzen, it needs to be at least the 3rd generation to have the TPM built onto the processor. So if your computer meets those requirements, and by the way, if you're looking at your processor, I'll actually switch over to a full screen here, and I'll show how you can actually tell whether your what version or what generation your processor is. So I'm going to launch Windows Explorer. I did that by holding down the Windows key and pressing E. And then I'm going to right click on this PC. I'm going to go to Properties and left click. That's going to launch the system window. And of course I could just launch settings, it's going to launch settings, but it also launches the system about section, which gives me the processor model. And you see my processor is an AMD Ryzen 8840U. So the first 8, the Ryzen 7 is the generation of processor, or the speed tier. So there's AMD has Ryzen 3, 5, and 7. Intel has Intel i3s, i5s, i7s, i9s. There's also a Ryzen 9. And in addition to those, there's also there's also the newer Intel processors. They're calling them like Core and Core Ultra, and Core 3, Core 5, Core 7, Core 9. So they're changing their architecture, and that's really the first generation of that version of their processors. But mine, since it starts with an 8, this is the 8th generation of the processor. If I had an i5 or an i7 and it started with 8 or higher, then that would be definitely have the TPM chip built onto the processor. Now, if your TPM chip, if your processor's an older i-series processor or an older Ryzen processor, maybe it's a first or second generation Ryzen, or it's an Intel first through seventh generation processor, we can still update to Windows 11. That is a manual process. It doesn't happen automatically. And with that, you still would be vulnerable if a hacker physically got access to your computer. So you just have to know that there is that limitation. Your computer would still be safer if you got a new computer, but your computer with Windows 11 without the TPM chip being on the processor is safer than your computer with Windows 10, because again, after Microsoft ends support October 14th, no support for Windows 10 anymore. After that date, what's going to happen is your computer is going to be more and more susceptible to infections, and you'll be a sitting duck for infections. So we can definitely take a look at that, see if your computer is, and see if your processor has that speed, if it's the version that will automatically update. And if it does automatically update, most likely you'll get a little prompt every now and then asking you if you want to update. And you can choose to update now, or you can choose to update in a little bit. If you don't do that, what will happen is you'll stay with Windows 10. But if your computer doesn't have that version, the versions that Microsoft supports officially, then we can actually install those Windows 11 anyway. And in many cases, not all cases, but in many cases, in most cases, we can do that. So give us a call, 772-878-5978, 772-878-5978. And remember, when you have computer problems, you need a faster PC.